Hi, welcome to PieBird Farm Sanctuary. I'm Sherry.
And I'm Yan.
We hope you enjoy learning about what we do here today. Hi guys, thanks for clicking on the video today. I'm really excited for today because we are here with Sherry and Yan, who you'll see in a second, at PieBird. And it's Farm Sanctuary? What's the correct full name for?
We usually call ourselves PieBird Farm Sanctuary and Vegan Farm Stay.
Okay, perfect. So what's the PieBird part of it? Like, it's such a unique name. Is there a reason that it's like the name that it is?
Well, it started out a long time ago. We wanted something quirky and antique and memorable. So it just started from a PieBird is a pie vent that's an antique thing from the early 1900s. And we collect them. You can't see them on camera right now, but they're all over the place.
So is there like a special meaning behind pies for you then, if you chose like to have like the name behind that?
Yeah, both Yan and I come from pie making families, so just our families would always get together and make a lot of pie. And my family particularly, my mom would always make a lot of pies, like 35 or 40 of them at a time, and we'd just hang out and roll dough, and it was just kind of a fun community thing to do, right?
That's a really good starting point, because here it's a big community as well, because you'll have people here and people staying, and it's cool that you guys both came from a community that was like, we were together and we were building and coming somewhere together.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah, thanks.
So were you always vegan? Like when you were a family, were you vegan as well, or how did that come to be?
No, my family wasn't vegan that I grew up in. I was the first in my family to do so, and some of my brothers followed suit eventually, and then my mom was pretty close, and then yeah, so just one of those things that I thought of doing when I was a teenager, and
and now?
And here we are.
Here we are. So how did you choose to create a sanctuary? Because then that's like kind of like the next step in your evolution, was like deciding who you are and now where am I going to go with it?
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, that's the thing. When we do our tours here and our educational talks, we often have to remind people that to be vegan doesn't mean you have to have a sanctuary. Sometimes people, when they're just getting into it, they don't realize that they're not the same. The sanctuary grew really organically for us. We started our business just, we had land, so we started living with animal friends. We started adopting them. It felt responsible as vegans with land. We thought that was a good idea. So we adopted a couple goat friends, a few chicken friends, and started learning from them. And then over the years, this is our 13th year coming up, and we started identifying as a farm sanctuary about 4 or 5 years ago, and we didn't really realize that that was a name, that's a thing. We just kind of grew organically into that, and then realized there was a label for what we did, and there's lots of other farm sanctuaries, and it just felt like it was like a really neat evolution for us.
If you have them and you're wanting to create a better life for them, I can imagine making a sanctuary would make sense. Would be the next natural step.
We identify strongly with the ethical standpoint of that, which means not using animal products for food or wearing their fur or leather. We don't eat honey, and everyone who lives with us here are free to just be who they are, and we don't use any of their products. They're not here for eggs or milk or that kind of thing. So yeah, it's sort of a big part of our evolution for sure.
It's really cool actually, when you were showing me around and kind of giving me a feel of what the place is like. I love that you have a couple the elderly animals that are just living out their life and kind of just enjoying it, and it was really cool to see how they were as creatures.
Oh yeah, they're so amazing. They're really, everyone here, we consider ourselves an interspecies community. So we always say there's 31 of us who live here, and 2 of us are humans. So basically, yeah, as a community, interspecies community of 31 year-round, it's a pretty special thing to do, and to see some of them come to us as babies, and then some of them, they've lived here the whole time, and so some of them are fairly old, and it's pretty special.
Something else I wanted to ask, because of the farm sanctuary, do you guys go and save animals from industries or things like that?
Sometimes, yeah. A lot of the time, we have a few different ways that the residents come to us. So there's the guardian surrender aspect, which is just humans living with say chickens and decide that they just can't do it anymore. So if we can, we take them. We always try to facilitate those humans keeping whoever it is they're trying to adopt out. Just how can we help them to keep their friends with them?
That's really nice that you like have that like different ways that you get the animals as well, and that there is like you can get them from different industries and kind of save them from that as well. There's different ways you come across them.
I mean, if we had the capacity and the energy and the human resources, we could take in a new animal every day, and that's pretty scary, right? Like farm sanctuaries shouldn't really have to exist. We really care about the individualized care of each resident here. It matters to us very much that each one is seen as an individual and seen for who they are.
Is that where your shirts come in, as well as to kind of help with like the resources?
Well, how we fund the sanctuary is through our merch sales. We have a cute little gift shop in our place that our overnight guests can shop at, and then we fund our family in very creative ways. Seems to work so far.
You do sell seeds as well, or something. I saw I've seen it in a couple places that you have the seeds as well.
We do, yeah. So a big part of what we do is education. So we're always trying to get other humans to grow their own food, grow vegetables as food, and so just to have a connection to the earth and a connection to vegetables, and to understand that we don't need to use animals as food or animal products to grow food either, because our gardens are all vegan, and that's an essential part of what we do as well.
So if someone wanted to get into this movement, what would your advice be of how to kind of help out and lower their impact?
Right, well, it's a good question. I think that everyone needs to review their food choices, because every day we have a choice to make the world a better place and to be kind. I think that most humans would say that they're kind. They say, I wouldn't want to hurt an animal, but if humans are eating animal products, then they are hurting animals. So we really try to positively educate people about that it's such a downer. The whole thing is so depressing, and it's like we're not the ones making up that information, we're just delivering it, and it's hard to hear, right? So it's like if it's hard to hear, then humans need to choose kinder products, which means plants. It's more efficient too for the environment, right?
It is. It's something you can actually find information on, is how much like the beef industry affects like the environment around it, and how it's clear cutted and the forests are coming down.
For sure.
Some of our animals.
Yeah, absolutely. Habitat destruction, water pollution, deforestation, it's all related. So if we just, instead of growing soybeans and corn to feed cattle, we should just be eating the soybeans and corn, and then we wouldn't have all the other problems that come along with that, right?
Like you and Yan met as vegans, or did you guys become vegans together? We were vegan, but we didn't identify as strongly as we do now. A lot of people are afraid of the word vegan. They somehow think it's militant or political, and it's but it's not. It just describes that we're confident and dedicated to not participating in a system that harms others. That's good to know, because it is a hot topic for some people. There is an association with vegan,
For sure.
and there's what does that mean? And it's good to know that you don't see it as an extreme. There are people that are political and have those stands, but it's nice that you are coming at it from a different energy.
Thanks. Well, yeah, all of our branding, everything has rainbows on it. We really try to, because being vegan is super positive.
So if someone comes to your farm, what can they expect to experience? So they walk in, and what could be their experience if they're a farm stay person, or if they're coming to visit? What can someone expect when they come to visit you guys? I
think for the most part, it's just so peaceful. A lot of our guests will say, well, what can I do when I'm there? And we just say, just come here. Because I think what's missing in the world is a place to be quiet and a place to really have personal reflection. And I think that happens here, because the residents we live with, the animal friends, they're part of the community, and I think other humans come here and they feel that, and they get connected to them, and they can reflect. That piece is the main thing that's, I think, really positive here.
I really enjoy hearing that you don't have to be a full vegan, and you don't have to be all the way to come here, because then you can just push a little bit and give that kind of start, and give a healthy introduction to it.
Yeah, for sure. Some of our guests, many of them aren't vegan. Many are, because it's a safe place for them. It's out in the world. It's a little bit harsh sometimes, and I think a lot of our guests are activists too at this point in our evolution, but that's not always the case. Many come here as a couple. One of them's vegan, the other one's not, and maybe they're almost there. this is like kind of like the educational portion for them to make those personal connections.
I wanted to ask you if there is someone out there that is a vegan or wants to be a vegan or wants to create a farm stay, what would be your advice to them on how to get started and make an impact in this way?
Well, we do get asked all the time how to start a farm sanctuary, and that we don't have the answer for that because there's no formula. Like I said, we didn't even know a farm sanctuary existed. We grew so organically with the animal friends we live with as part of our family that I don't know. But I think if someone really wants to help, they can volunteer at their local farm sanctuary. There's some, we're the farthest north, but there's lots more down south. If someone's close by, like, give us a call, donate to a sanctuary, see what they need. Some of them have wish lists that are available to see if there's products, you know, that the animal friends need. So yeah, I don't have a formula for what we do, but yeah.
So I'm going to cut to Jan real quick, and we're going to ask him some of the same questions, and we'll get some of his opinions and see what he's about. Let's talk about what the PieBird means for you, what that name means.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's playful. I mean, the circles we move in and the issues we deal with, that's heavy stuff. We cheer on the work we do as peacefully powered animal liberation. So, yeah, it's important to smile and to remember to share the joy.
So how did you become a vegan yourself?
Well, you know, Did
you grow up like that?
Not at all. You know, I grew up in a hunting family, and
How long have you been a vegan?
oh yeah, since before we started PieBird, and we're now in our 13th year here. So yeah, we've in the last couple of years especially, we've seen so many changes in the world around us. Like it's happening. You know, animal liberation is happening, and it's beautiful.
So when you started the farm, what was your original goal? Like 13 years ago, where were you at?
Just just feeling the connection to want to connect to land. So you know, we left Vancouver, and you know, really it's like the garden space, the growing food was a huge element of that.
So from your point of view, how can someone like start out and make an impact with, like, even if they wanted to better themselves and help out, how would you recommend that they start? Like if someone wanted to make a...
Yeah, well, just to really reflect on the idea that every day we can be who we want to be. So to pause and really see that and step away from the hustle and the bustle. All of the choices we make, that's our power. You know, we can give that power away to others who are making those choices for us. So if we're giving our power away, we're giving our choices away. But just by, you know, really identifying that we can make a positive difference, each of us, and each of us has that opportunity every single day.
I like your viewpoint of how being vegan not only helps animals, but it helps yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, creating a peaceful world is possible and is beautiful, and we can do that just by living a life of peace.
When you first were showing me around the place, that you had almost like a retirement community here for animals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's such a sacred moment of sharing the intimacy of some elder care with some of the sanctuary residents. Yeah. It's really such a beautiful time of vulnerableness.
So this is like an amazing like journey to make a sanctuary. How do you guys make it happen and keep it going?
Yeah, well,
I'm sure it's something that a lot of people are going to wonder. Like a big thing is, okay, I want to help animals and I want, but how do I keep it going?
Totally. Well, the most important thing to remember is who we're doing it for, who you're doing it for, and that's for the animal persons themselves. And then that makes all the other decision making really easy of what you do is all based around their needs. And their needs change and grow every day, and there's challenge and strife within that. But it's really putting yourself forward to be of service of whatever their needs are.
So I gotta say, I'm noticing this great shirt you have on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, you know, part of celebrating the individuals is through art and through and through joy. So yeah, we do a lot of illustration of the friends to you know, help focus in on some parts of their personality and some of their joy. Yeah, and for us, that's rainbows. Yeah.
So is this shirt inspired by anyone in particular, or the whole farm in general?
Yeah, well, you know, there's rainbows happen, totally. That's a pretty good image and icon for the way that Sherry and I approach life and approach sanctuary. With a family this big, of these many persons living together, there's some serious things that come up, and just trying to maintain the joy within all of that.
So I noticed you guys, so apart from selling merch, you guys also, what else do you? You sell seeds as well?
Yeah, totally. So in the garden, we grow and share some open pollinated heirloom seeds as a way to support the sanctuary and this vacation rental, like cottage on site. The seeds especially is really fun because we're trying to empower people to be growing their own food, and within that they're creating the space of reflection. They're creating the space of, hey Laura. Laura just came off her nest to come say hi. So out in the garden, you know, folks can have that quiet and that introspective space, you know, to tell themselves some things, and that's how any of us will grow, is by, you know, challenging ourselves to see where we can make improvements in life and in the world around us. And in the garden, in the quiet, humans can tell themselves things that are important and that they need to hear for sharing seeds and sharing that joy.
So what can someone expect when they come visit the farm? Obviously they'll have a visitor come greet them, or they'll have a friend come feed them.
Yeah, totally. And you know, just be a part of the piece. You know, internally we kind of joke a bit about just creating the space for mystical experiences to happen, which is, you know, just to take a step back from all of our busyness and hustle, and just try to be in a place that we can inspire ourselves, you know, and inspire each other. That mutual inspiration of humanity, of meeting you today and having this conversation. Like, yeah, that's the most beautiful thing about being alive and being on this earth.
That's really, I don't know, that's a great thing to say. So is there anything that you would want to say to someone who's watching this video and maybe is looking for inspiration on how to get started, maybe like start their own farm sanctuary?
Yeah, well, you know, just to empower ourselves to be of service to others, to, you know, to challenge the status quo around us, and we can do that in small little acts every day, like, you know, like planting a seed and tending that, and you know, and it connects you to the soil, to the water, to the life. You know, obviously going vegan and incorporating those values into your life will lead you down a beautiful path that, you know, I could never have imagined where that would have led myself, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to know more about the PieBird Farm Sanctuary or donate, I have links in the description down below. Till then, I will see you in the next video. Bye!